measured up top on this, but we measured across and determined we had 155.5 inches, 155 3/4 inches I think it was. And we're going to cut two 2x4s, 155 3/4, and put our 9.5 inch little blocks in, and then we'll shoot this up here. And once we get that done, we'll be right back with you, and we'll show you how we're going to connect the dots across the bottom with our 2x4s. Okay, we're ready to set our second side of the soffit, the right side ladder. We want this flat ceiling up here where the drywall is going all the way up to the floor joist to be a nice rectangle. And we want our soffit ladder to be perpendicular off the outside wall and this bathroom wall, perfectly straight across. Just like we did on the other side, I'm going to measure off the outside wall, pull my marks across on both ends, make crow's feet, and snap a line between the two. Now, I don't want to be smack up against this. I want to be about a 1/2 inch away or so from this. So I'm going to come off the ductwork 4 inches and step back towards the ductwork there. So 4 inches there. Take our tape over here, and we get a measurement back this way. Actually, we're going to need another ladder over there. These measurements have to be perfect. You want your ceiling to be a perfect rectangle. So over to that 4 inch mark. Hold me up on the top plate there. There you go, right down this joist here, John. 86 1/8. Go up the other end of the room and make an 86 1/8 mark coming off the wall. Same as we did on the other end, 86 1/8. Make a crow's foot and set ahead. I'm going to snap that line, end to end, and we're going to put our soffit ladder up to that chalk line just like we did on the other side. We're going to do that, we'll get it hung, and then we'll be back to show you how we're going to cross over from ladder to the left side to the right side of the soffit and complete this soffit. Ready for drywall. Be right back. Work your way, John. Don't worry about your line. Got it. Looks like it is. Okay, so we got our soffit up here. Now what we have to do to get these things nice and sturdy so they're not rocking is we have to shoot the end of it into a 2x4, but there's nothing here because we're between two studs. So when you end up this way, cut yourself a block of wood in between. It's like 14 1/4. Slide that block of wood in there and shoot it through both 2x4s in your wall. And then what you're going to do is put a level on the side of your little soffit ladder, get it nice and level, nice and plumb, and shoot into the block of wood that we're going to fasten in here. So, Chris, go ahead and cut me one 14 1/4, and we'll get this end of the soffit secured. Down there, at the other end, we had some nice 2x4 to shoot into, so we put the level on here and plumbed this edge, and we shot through the end of the ladder right into the 2x here to secure it. And this is nice and solid now, it's not moving, and it's ready to go. We'll button up the other side, and we'll be ready to cross over the bottoms. Now what we did was, send me that 6-foot level there, Jonathan. We made sure that our soffit ladders were perfectly level from end to end. We're using a 6-foot level up underneath here. Now, if you get your ladders up and it's running downhill left to right and it's not level, all you need to do is find out which side needs to go down or up with your level, and start at the low end, and you may have to take your hammer out and tap down on your ladder and knock it down a little bit until you get it perfectly level. Make sure that before you start to cross over from ladder to ladder underneath your ductwork and your beams, that both of your ladders are exactly level. Alright, once you get them level, you're ready to rock and roll. We leveled up both of our soffit ladders. They're done. And then what we did was we took a chalk line, and if you can see this line right here, chalk line going across these studs, We held the chalk line on the bottom of both ladders against the wall, and we snapped a chalk line from ladder to ladder at the end of the ladders, right across there. And then we checked to make sure that that red line was level as well. That way we know if we're level left or right. Ours came out, was perfect. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut a 2x4, and we're going to shoot a 2x4 right across this red line on this end, and we're going to do the same thing up the other end. All right, so we're at the beginning stages of crossing over the bottom of our soffit. Now, what we have to do is we have to measure between the insides of both of our ladders. Take your tape measure. You'll need somebody to give you a hand here. And this is a pretty big soffit too. We're normally not doing soffits that are quite this wide. Right in against the wall there, right up against the soffit. And I'm coming up with 110 and a half. All right, I'll write that down so I don't forget it. 110 inches. That's the measurement between the two ladders. Now, what I didn't tell you was we also took the 2-foot level. I'll show you what I did here. I did this before I turned the camera on, but I'll show you. We took our 2-foot level, we put it on the side of our ladder, and we wanted to make sure that we were plumb up and down with the side of our ladders, of our soffit ladders. So we got it perfectly plumb, and then we shot a nail through the end into our wall. We got it plumb between the lines. When we got it between the lines, we nailed through the end of our soffit into our wall, locking it into position, locking it plumb. We did that at both ends on both ladders, so we had to do it a total of 4 times there. Now we're ready to go ahead and shoot our pieces across the bottom of our soffits. All right. Now you just saw me measure on the end there, 110 inches. What we're going to do is every 2 foot, just like we laid out our ladders, every 2 foot we're going to be crossing underneath the steel and the ductwork with 2x4s. We're going to be putting them in there flat ways. So we need to measure between both ladders, all right, both ladders, every 2 foot. We're going to go down through here. We're going to measure every one at 2 foot and write them down. Then Chris is going to cut them. I think we need a total of 8 of them. We're going to cut all 8 of them, and we're going to shoot them in between, and this soffit will be done. So we'll be right back with you once we get those 8 cut. Okay, we're crossing over here now. We made our measurements. We wrote them all down. We had a total of 8 of these. We shot the first one in between. We're getting ready to put the second one up here. And remember, I said we're going to put these in flat ways because we're trying to maximize the ceiling height. So, you know, we're about an inch or so below the ductwork. If we tried to put them in there sideways, we wouldn't quite make it. We'd be hitting the ductwork. So we put them in there flat ways. That way we can get more height. All right. And you can see our toe-nailing. The toe-nail, you go in on a 45-degree angle, come out about 1.5 inches. Put your gun on a 45, or if you're hand nailing, you start your nail about 1.5 inches back on a 45. And make sure you're flush with the bottom of your crossover piece with the bottom of your soffit ladder, and just drive the nail in. One on each side. The other side here, 2 nails, 1 on each side. Now as you can see, we laid these out every 2 foot to the centers. 2-foot centers. So when we get out here to the next one, we'll be at 4 foot, and our drywall will seam right in the center of the 4-footer, which we're going to put up next here. So you want to grab the third one here, John? Okay. Same thing again. Get up between our lines. Now we want to be setting on our mark on the side of the X set ahead. All right. Always set ahead. Same thing we did when we built our wall. Set ahead. Cover the X. 2 nails on each side. Is that going to stay up there? Yep. Should be good. Talk about a nice slope fit, huh? Okay, now You want to make sure that you don't cut these too tight, because if you do, you're going to push your ladder out and it's not going to be plumb anymore. Okay, it should just barely fit in there like that. All right, it's still loose, but it's snug. Okay, but not too tight. Toenail them in there. One on each side. All right, we're going to go down through here and do that 5 more times. And this soffit will be just about 95% done. We'll have one more step to do once we get these all crossed over. We'll be right back. Okay, we got all 8 of our cross pieces over from soffit ladder to soffit ladder the whole way across. And we did one more thing to the project that I didn't show you. It's actually doing, but it's real simple to do. If you look up in here, where we could get them, we slid some 2x4s up in here. See this 2x4 in here? We slid it from end to end, all the way down to this end. We just threw in some scrap pieces. I think some of the 2x4s that we twisted, we slid up in there. We shot up through the bottom of every one of these crossover pieces into those blocks that we slid up in there, okay? Right here you can see we've nailed through these up into these 2x4s that we put from end to end. Alright, and then we did one more thing. When we got them all shot in there, I cut some pieces about 20 inches long. I slid them up and shot them into the floor joists. What we did was, I'll shoot my pointer up there, we shot into the side of one of these floor joists with that block, and then we shot into the side of one of our crossover pieces. And what that did was it tied the whole ceiling together so that there's no sag in it. You can see I can jump up here, and it's nice and solid. The drywall is not going to have that ceiling sagging at all.